Rev up your engines!
Well, Ford claims that they're going to kick off their new affordable EV family with a brand new small electric pickup truck. Now, Jim Farley went to China, and he said he was impressed by the cheap EVs that they made, like the Xiaomi SU7, and they're going to make their own small electric pickup. Now, it's only in the planning stage, right? They expect it to be placed between the Maverick and the Ranger, so it's not going to be super small. It's bigger than the Maverick and smaller than the Ranger. And they say it's going to have a new type of lithium iron phosphate battery packs. But let me tell you something. I don't believe it until it's out there. Now, get this. Their new lithium iron phosphate batteries, they have less range than the regular lithium ion batteries, but they're cheaper to make. So, they're going totally against what they all said they were going to do. Well, don't worry. We'll make our vehicles have longer range with batteries. As time goes on, we'll have longer and longer range. They have less range because now they're putting cheaper batteries that cost less to make, but they have less range. The exact opposite. The biggest problem with electric vehicles are people have range anxiety. How far can I go? Great. Now make a pickup truck with the cheaper batteries with a smaller range. It's just plain stupid. These people, really, I think they have rocks in their head. They don't comprehend anything. Look, all you manufacturers, electric cars, range anxiety, they go together. Do not make electric cars with cheaper batteries that have a lower range. That gives even more range anxiety. But, as they say, most corporations are dead from the neck up, and it's generally the head that's doing the talking. So, it's one thing if it saves money building a vehicle. If it still has a long range, yeah, it won't last as long because it's made cheaper, right? But at least it can go pretty far like a gasoline engine. But yeah, let's all make electric vehicles that have shorter range. Sounds like a smart idea because it's cheaper to make them. Guess what? You can make them as cheap as they want. If they don't have any range, no one's going to buy the stupid things. Well, Trump's auto tariffs are now turning new car shopping into a wild ride. Things start kicking in the second half of 2025. Most experts say prices will probably rise 4 to 8%. And of course, the EV market, they're vanishing all the federal tax credits. So, who ends up paying for this? Of course, we, the consumer. And of course, the EV industry is trying to build momentum, but people aren't buying them. And they're derailing emissions rules to make it easier to buy gasoline cars. And they're getting rid of a lot of public charger support. So the EV people are kind of screwed over. Now, the Treasury Department claims that it has picked up $152 billion in tariff revenue through July. $152 billion, right? Where last year, they only collected 78, so it's like almost double. Even if they collected the extra 70-something, you know how much money Americans spend on new cars? 2024, Americans spent $774 billion on new car purchases. So you know who's really paying for the tariff? The consumer. Look, the people that are importing them pay the tariff. The manufacturer doesn't pay the tariff. It is paid by whoever imported it into the country. You can put them in warehouses, then you don't pay the tariff until they're taken out and sold. They're bonded warehouses, right? But whoever's going to sell that thing has to pay the tariff. Then guess what? They're going to raise the price. Duh. And that means the price will go up. The price of the average new car is already closing in on $50,000. It's $48,900 or something as it stands right now. It's closing in on $50,000. So you can add another probably 5 to 8% to that to pay for the tariffs, because we do buy $774 billion worth of cars every year. That'll just be more money that we got to pay. The government got the tariff. It's basically a tax on us if you buy new cars. Now, I do have to say it's not really a tax on me because I've never bought a new car in my life because I'm a cheapskate. I buy used ones. But here's the problem. When the price of new cars goes up, generally the price of used cars goes up too. It's like rising tide raises all boats. We'll end up paying for the stupid thing. It's not some magic thing where the government got money from thin air. It comes out of our wallets. Well, yet another electric vehicle is being postponed. Volkswagen's Cupra brand is now saying they're postponing bringing their electric vehicle to the United States beyond the year 2030. So that's beyond 5 years from now, right? Now, maybe you're watching this video in the future. Maybe it's 2032. Hey, I got a question. At least old Scotty had a question. Are the Cupras for sale here, the electric ones? Or did they give up entirely? Cupra, which is a brand that Volkswagen Group owns, was planning on future growth in the U.S. market, but now they say they're postponing their entry into the United States beyond the year 2030. They said they have, quote, strategically decided to postpone the U.S. debut due to ongoing challenges. In other words, you're making electric cars that nobody wants to buy, so now you're going to bring them in the United States. Now, they are selling them in Europe because they got more pressures to buy electric cars and stuff, but even there, they're not having such a great idea. Even one of these Cupras was slated for being built in the United States, but nope, now they're waiting until after 2030. And realize that Volkswagen owns the name Scout, so they claim they're going to bring a little electric pickup in, and they want to sell it directly to consumers like Tesla does, no dealerships. Again, save money. Oh, there's no dealerships. We sell them direct, right? If it breaks, where do you take it? Well, we don't care. We already sold you the stupid thing, right? If you ask any honest Tesla owner what the biggest hassle of your car is, they'll tell you repairs and maintenance. They ream them at the places. They can charge whatever they want. They do. They don't have money parts in stock. You wait forever. So maybe selling direct isn't such a great idea for the consumers. Yeah, for the producers, sure. They don't have to have dealerships. They don't have to waste all that money building all that stuff. But hey, you want your car fixed when it breaks, right? Oh, well, we bought it online. Take it back online, Like when you buy something online and then they say, oh, sorry, we can't do anything about it. You have to go back to the manufacturer to get any warranty work done. Ha! Well, Volvo sales are spiraling, but they're not spiraling up. They're spiraling down. Second quarter 2025, Volvo posted a $1 billion operating loss. And they had their fifth consecutive sales drop in July. 4 months before, they were all dropping too. And of course, here in the United States, their EX90 electric SUV is a massive failure. They don't even understand their own market. It amazes me. Volvos always were kind of a fringe market, soccer moms, stuff like that. Let me tell you something, Volvo. Soccer moms have range anxiety. They don't want to be late to the soccer match or going shopping to buy their Versace stuff. They don't want range anxiety. You build a range anxiety car, and guess what? Nobody's buying them. Now, realize, of course, Volvo is a Chinese-owned company. Gotta laugh at them. Their flagship EX90 electric SUV, guess what? That thing cost over $80,000 and has all kinds of software problems. So, they're having problems selling $80,000 electric cars. Duh. Who would have thought that with limited range? Oh, yeah, give me 10 of those things, right? And, of course, Volvo said, we're going all electric by 2030. Well, they abandoned that last year. And now they're saying they want 90 to 100% of sales being plug-in hybrids and EVs. So, they're all cheating and calling plug-in hybrids electric vehicles. They're partially electric vehicles, right? They still have an engine in them, and that's what people are buying. That's the smallest range anxiety of all. Though some of those hybrid things can go 600-something miles. If they're a plug-in hybrid, they can go a long way. They run out of electricity, the motor kicks in, right? And, of course, Volvo's kind of late to the game there. They lost $1 billion smackers second quarter 2025. Something is rotten in Denmark. Well, you could say Sweden, but really it's a Chinese company. And a lot of the cars that they're selling now are actually made in China, not in Sweden. Breaking news. GM engineers just drove a Chevy Silverado EV over 1,000 miles on a single charge. Oh, how could they possibly do it? The EPA rates it as 493 miles. It's hot, you lose range. It's cold, you lose range. You put load in the bed, loses range. You tow something, it'll lose half of its range if you tow something heavy, right? But a team of 40 engineers put a plan together to see how far they could go. They did everything. They inflated the tires to the maximum safe pressure, which of course isn't that good for your tires, so wear out fast. They moved the windshield wipers to the lowest position so there's less rolling drag. The spare wheel and tire were removed to reduce weight. And the majority of the drive time, it only had a driver and occasionally a passenger. And they did not use the air conditioning or the heat. They specially adjusted the front end alignment to reduce drag. And of course, the most absurd thing of them all, they kept speeds to 20 or 25 miles an hour. Now, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Who's going to buy a truck? You drive at 20 miles an hour, you'll be killed on the highway, right? Even in town, people will start flipping you the bird and stuff because you're going too slow. All these range things are a joke. I went to that thing years ago where they had the college students and high school students see how many miles per gallon they could get out of a vehicle, and some of them, I got 276, and you find out the average speed was 4 miles an hour, and the vehicle weighed 410 pounds. Well, this is still the big, heavy Chevy EV Silverado, right? But they rigged it all up. They only went 20 miles an hour. So, I mean, come on now. That's not a valid test of anything. Absolutely not. They can't give these Chevy Silverado EVs away. They keep lowering the prices on them. I had one over here last year. It was originally 80 grand list. Now it was 65 and nobody had bought it yet. They are a massive failure. These big electric trucks, big and electric trucks do not go together unless you got one of those gigantic trucks that are rock haulers, right? They are electric, but they have a diesel engine that runs the electric motors. They do have a few electric ones out. They cost so much, hardly any of them are out. They're all using the big diesel electric ones instead. And that makes sense. The diesel engine runs a generator that runs the electric wheels. The torque is phenomenal, great for pulling heavy loads at lower speeds. Those big, gigantic trucks at the ore mining places, they don't go fast, they go slow. Electric motors, great slow. Fast? No. Well, if you have a Nissan with the CVT, one of those constantly variable transmissions, you know they are well known for falling apart, breaking. Well, here's something you might not know. If you own one, please do it. Maybe it will last longer. The Nissan CVT transmissions, most of them, have two filters. One is in the pan, and the other is in an external filter. Most people don't think about the external filter. Now, if you want the CVT transmission to have to last as long as it can, you want to change transmission fluid in those things every 35,000 miles and change both filters, both the one in the pan and the external one. And if you're lucky, the stupid thing might last a couple 100,000 miles, right? Most people don't know there's filters in each one of them, and you really got to change the fluid in those. I've seen people with Toyotas. They've never touched them. No filter change, no fluid change, 200,000, they're still going. Not the Nissan Jetco. Their CVT transmission stinks. So you'd want to change it every 30,000 miles, both of them. Most people don't even know there's a secondary filter. If you do that and baby it, you still got to baby it. They're weak transmissions. If you're a drag strip king or queen, yeah, you're going to have problems anyways. But if you're a normal driver, make sure you change it every 30,000 and change both filters, not just the one inside, the one outside and the one inside, if you want that stupid CVT to last. Me, I wouldn't buy one in the first place, but if you got one, hey, take care of it. Well, Elon Musk, the futurist, now says Tesla is training an upgraded full self-driving model that could be released next month. He's always talking about the future, right? They're still calling it full self-driving. And if you want to go by the technical definition of it, full self-driving, which he calls FSD, is a partially automated driving system that lets Tesla vehicles navigate, maneuver, and driving situations with minimal assistance. So, guess what? It's not full self-driving. It's partially automated. So it's not full self-driving. How they're even allowed to call it that is beyond me. It's just too much. Now, old Elon says we've got big video improvements and size upgrades, and it's a big improvement to the video compression loss. He says it's probably going to be ready for public release the end of next month if testing goes all well, right? He said this on X, on his platform. Now, I find it absolutely hilarious because he's the knucklehead. It's all video, all camera. His system is all camera. All the other ones, they're actually better. They use laser, they use radar, and they use cameras. And he says, I can do it all with cameras. Why would you stick to an old-fashioned thing, just cameras, when there's radar and LiDAR on, because it would cost him more money to redesign the whole thing, of course. He's not going to want to redesign the whole thing with a better system. And that's the problem with electric cars. They're not ready for prime time, and there could be a lot better systems in the future. Like Toyota says 2027 they're going to start making solid-state batteries, have a range of like 700 miles or more. Some people said maybe even 1,000, and that can be recharged for like 500 miles worth in 10 minutes. Now, they say 2027 they're going to make them, and then 2028 it's going to be mass produced. If that's the case, and they can make these solid-state batteries, it's a game changer for electric vehicles, right? More people would probably buy them if they held up. Old Elon, he's only using cameras for his full self-driving, and he's still got the old-fashioned battery technology. All of his cars will be patently obsolete, and they'll be selling for nothing if Toyota does come out with solid-state batteries, right? And in the case of this full self-driving, he's been touting that thing for years, and it is not full self-driving. He should not be able to call it that, right? He got sued, barking up any tree he possibly can. He'll tell any kind of story to try to keep the stock up, because he's got all the stock options, right? Well, realize so far this year, Tesla shares are down 23.55%. It's 1/4 just about. The value is gone. So he's got to keep putting his baloney out while other people are racing by him in terms of technology and price. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.